welcome to the Innerverz podcast. So, this is a place where we explore ideas that sit at the junction of science, spirituality, and the deeper questions of life. So, in this episode, and more or less in this entire series, we're going to look at a simple but very powerful idea. The idea that science and spirituality may not be as different as we often think. So, in fact, they might be describing the same reality just in very different languages. So, for example, think about it for a moment. Concepts like quantum reality or the idea of a multiverse, these all feel like modern cutting edge discoveries, right? But if you look closely, similar ideas have existed for thousands of years. In traditions like the Advaita philosophy or in the Vedas, where the idea of multiple universes or brahmandas is not unusual at all, it's been there. So the question becomes, are we discovering something new or are we rediscovering something that's already ancient? Recently, I wrote a book. It's called Are You the Universe, where I explore these ideas in more depth. So you can check it out on Amazon. So the book is on Amazon. It's available on Kindle. You can check it out. It's a small book, but it covers very interesting topics. So make sure you try it out. So what I'd like to do through Innerverz, this particular podcast, is to take that journey further. We will use the book as a loose structure. We will move through its chapters, exploring the ideas one by one. But this won't be just about reading. This is not just an audiobook. It will be a conversation, a space to pause, reflect, question, and maybe see things a little differently. So if these are the kind of questions that interest you, consider subscribing. I'll be sharing new episodes regularly over the next few weeks. If you enjoy this episode, do hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach others who might be on a similar journey. And most importantly, leave your thoughts in the comments, because this is not just about answers. It's about the conversation we build around them. So let's begin.
My journey into the resonance of being began in a rather unique environment, one where spirituality and science coexisted. Naturally, almost effortlessly. I was raised in a deeply spiritual and orthodox family, a home that not only cherished traditions but also respected the discoveries of science. Rituals were observed with reverence, and at the same time, curiosity about the world was encouraged. There was no conflict between the two, and without realizing it then, this delicate balance between the spiritual and the scientific quietly shaped how I began to see the world. It also sparked something deeper, a lifelong quest to understand the connection between these two paths. As I grew older, I couldn't help but notice the common threads that seemed to link ancient traditions with modern science. Both, in their own ways, appeared to be pointing towards similar truths: that well being, balance, and an understanding of the universe are central to living a meaningful life. The practices I had grown up observing, meditation, prayer, a quiet reverence for nature, they didn't feel disconnected from reality. In fact, they seemed to align with the very principles that science uses to describe the world around us. And yet, something remained unresolved. I found myself returning to the same question again and again. What is the deeper truth that binds these seemingly separate domains together? Over time, that question became a path. Half my life has been spent seeking answers, questioning, exploring, trying to understand this confluence of spirituality and science. I found myself drawn to ancient scriptures and philosophies, while also following the latest research on the mind, consciousness, and the cosmos. It has been a deeply personal journey, one that has brought moments of clarity, insight, and at times a sense of quiet awe. But it has also been filled with mysteries, questions that remain open, perhaps meant to remain open. In recent years, something shifted. With the internet, we suddenly gained access to an overwhelming wealth of knowledge, research, interpretations, ideas from across the world. And as I explored this vast landscape, my understanding of the convergence between these paths began to deepen. I started to see that many of the ancient practices we have inherited are not merely symbolic or ritualistic. They are rooted in something far more profound. They speak of vibration, of energy, of consciousness. And slowly, a realization began to take shape that these traditions were perhaps designed to align us with the rhythms of the universe itself, to protect our well being, and to preserve forms of knowledge that science is only now beginning to rediscover. It is from this understanding that a need to share emerged. This book is not just a collection of ideas, it is a reflection of that journey. And while it is deeply personal, it is also something I believe many of us are quietly experiencing in our own ways. A search, a curiosity, a sense that there is something more waiting to be understood. Through this exploration of the resonance of being, I hope this work offers you something of value. Perhaps new insights, perhaps inspiration, or perhaps just a different way of looking at the questions you already carry. But more than anything, I hope it becomes a starting point, a beginning for your own journey, one that may take you further than I have gone, toward a deeper understanding of who we are and what this existence is truly about. In this journey, we will explore the idea that vibration lies at the foundation of both the universe and our consciousness. From the ancient sound of Om to modern explorations of energy flow, brainwaves, and collective consciousness, we will begin to see that these ideas are not as distant from each other as they may appear. Because at its heart, the journey towards self actualization and beyond is a journey of alignment, a process of harmonizing with the deeper rhythms of existence, and in doing so, perhaps unlocking something within ourselves that has always been there. So I invite you to walk this path with me, a path where spiritual wisdom and scientific inquiry do not stand apart but meet, where the search for meaning does not end but continues to evolve, to deepen, to expand.